when you've got the waistcoat on. But you see, what is so good about this? Stand up, feet together, for that. Because, I don't know, you're a 42 hip, aren't you?
44 more
44
likely.
hip. You see how the pleats start from here,
Yes.
low down. You must never have any pleats coming from here or any fullness because it makes you look fatter. So you've got a nice flat look there. And then, of course, you can be as up to date. You've got a nice slit at the front. Oops! Showing all your legs, slit at the back. A waistcoat. You see, you can wear all the fashion points, even being bigger. A waistcoat which will give you that nice line.
I like waistcoats.
Yes, it's nice, and it doesn't give you bulk. The important thing is, you probably found this, it's almost impossible to get a dress to fit.
I'm too long in the waist.
Too long in the waist, and usually, yes,
or even in the skirts.
and usually they don't have nice straights or something. So always go. I would say always go for separates. Try and get the same colour going all the way through. Always, incidentally, push up your sleeves because that looks mumsy.
It does rather, yes, actually. I wasn't too
And you
sure
can,
about the cardigan
yes,
for
well,
that
you can,
reason.
you can either undo, you know what they're doing now, they're undoing the cuffs and letting them flap, and I don't think it looks nice.
I think my husband would ask me immediately why I hadn't done my cuff up.
Yes, exactly. Oh, look at Sylvia, that's nice, isn't it?
I say, that's interesting.
And your hat, but Sylvia, listen, this hat, doesn't it look lovely on her? Yeah. And it doesn't even have to have a stock. I usually put stockings in or tights in the top to give it bulk.
It's a gorgeous hat. I'm a great hat wearer. I took to that immediately.
It's lovely. Yes, it's lovely. The only thing, what I want to say is, before you run away, make sure you don't have two sets of shoulder pads. Your blouse that I've got, and this, if it has, this had another shoulder pad here. Now you often see, I've taken down, so you get a big humpy look up here, which you don't want. So keep your shoulders low, extended if necessary.
That would shorten the neck.
Never have your shoulders narrower than your hips.
Oh, I see. So pads are good.
Pads are good, but not high. I think you look very nice.
Well, I'm very happy in it, I must say.
Yes, you look lovely.
Wonderful. I was going to take it off now.
That would look nice on you too, wouldn't it, Sylvia?
Yes, it would actually do. Yes, it would. Oh, let's swap.
Come on, model it for me.
Model it for you.
You've forgotten how to model?
No, I haven't, darling. I haven't.
Oh, yes, you've got, mind you don't fall over.
How dare you, dear.
It looks lovely on you, Sylvia.
There you are.
But what a problem. It really is a problem looking for big sizes, isn't it?
Well, you never thought it, did you?
No, well, I mean, I knew because you've said so often it's all very well for you. But this, Sylvia, I think is so stunning.
Nice, isn't it?
Yes.
I tell you what's good about this blouse. You know I always moan to you and I say, big sizes, they cut them with knives and forks and you get blouses that have got pyjama sleeves.
Yes.
And on a bigger woman, if the sleeve comes down to there and she's got a bust, she's one great big lump.
Yes.
This is cut very well, it's cut high.
Yeah.
And so it gives you a figure.
Yes, absolutely.
Shall we?
And oh, you look lovely too.
The skirt, it's great, isn't it? The skirt is only an 18.
Yes.
So it's a wee bit snug, but I like this effect.
Well, what I wanted, Sylvia, first of all, I think you've got the wrap over. What is so nice, now I'm not going to say what size you are because you won't tell me the truth. But anyway, that's a 20. But because you've got a nice narrow hemline, you've got your dark stockings, your dark shoes, it gives you that long, slender look. And of course, again, because it's separates, isn't it? You don't break up.
Yes, don't break up. But I've seen a lot of women wear these right down over their bot.
And
but I think it's strong. Well, look at the size of it at the back.
Ooh, pull it up.
No.
That's horrible, isn't it?
No, but it's so very, very nice.
Yeah.
Looks lovely. But this, I think, is fabulous because you can wear it over anything, and it's
nice,
it
isn't
is
it?
difficult to get a coat.
Nice.
Isn't
It's
it? Do you
difficult.
find
Yeah.
over a certain clothes.
Well, a certain way to wear these too. You've got to anchor. You've got to anchor it well over your shoulder because if you don't, it slips down.
But this is synthetic, so it's not as bad as wool, is it?
No.
But anyway, you can anchor. It's nice. I think, and also you look very stylish. Now, if I saw you walking
Did you
along,
hear that?
you do. You look very stylish.
Sure.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Very elegant.
You look nice, Sylvia.
Okay.
I always remember when she did a show for me and she was doing all this fancy stuff and she went right over the end of the platform. She really did. She'd forgotten.
Oh, no.
You look great.
What's that there?
You look great. I think you look great.
Sort of
What do you think? You're the one.
Well, it's a loose. I mean, it fits. I mean, this is one of the
Well,
things.
it fits because it's loose.
Well, but I have difficulty with tights.
Yes.
I mean, that I can never get tights long enough and I have to cut the end off. Particularly sort of woolen tights and things. I cut the end off so my toes actually poke through.
You see, I envisage you as the
Anyway,
the leading
it's always
boy
something
that
nice
has
to
to-
kind of play around with. And something like this actually could be a really good Christmas present or a birthday present. The other thing is I like to recycle things, so all the bottles that I've got in my cupboards, I suddenly saw in a shop. Oh, that's brilliant. suddenly saw in the shop, and there was like these amazing bottles that had all been hand-painted.
This looks fantastic.
I know,
Well,
I've been asking her what she was doing.
Just beginners.
I can't believe that.
I kept on and on and on, now she's let me do it. But really she's saying anyone can do this.
What are you actually doing?
Well, it's stained glass paint, basically, just from a DIY shop. And I've got lots of old bottles because I recycle everything.
Right.
And you know when you run out of ideas to
I've never got any ideas for things like this.
Don't you?
No, I mean, I so admire it and think it's lovely.
But if you see somebody else doing it, you'd probably want to do it.
Yes,
wouldn't you?
I'd love to do it. I'd like to do that easy one.
Yeah. I don't think Gracie's going to give that one up.
These paints, they're just sort of normal.
Well, you
glass
paint them on
paints.
like normal paint, but
Right.
after a couple of hours, after about 6 hours, they just dry and you can wash them then. You know, you can treat them as normal. And up until then, you've got a chance to wipe it off if you make any mistakes, so it's great. I mean, the kids can have a go if they want to. But I mean, I'm doing something very silly here. I'm making a bit of a jam pot.
And can you paint windows and things in your house as well?
Yes, that's the best thing. I mean, if you had a stained glass window that was broken and you had a...
I've
like
got
you've
it.
got
Yes,
one in
I've got
your door,
one.
haven't you?
I've got a piece of plain glass in, but I could just about do that. Swipe it all over in one colour. Without any designs.
Well,
But I mean, if you've got some area, like for instance, I've got an Egyptian-style bedroom, and I wanted to do something around the edges to make it kind of tie in with the bedroom.
Yes.
Because also, my front window looks out onto a main road, and you don't really see anything exciting. So I thought it'd be nice to just kind of
Yes, what a lovely idea.
treat it up a bit. So I've just done kind of pointy shapes.
but these shapes here on the bottle, beautiful. I mean, they're simple, but
I am not-
really effective.
I am not a two-dimensional artist, I must admit. I cannot draw.
This is primitive art.
Very
It
primitive,
looks very,
yes.
and it's lovely, and it's make lovely Christmas
I mean,
presents.
for instance, this Harlequin thing, it's so easy to do. You just paint the black lines in first and then fill it in with the colours.
And good for children to do, or sort of slightly older children. I'd
Well,
imagine.
even little ones. I mean, even if they just write their name on something. I
And
mean, at least
grannies
they've got
can
in
do it.
there.
I could do that.
Children and grannies, sorry,
Yes. Yes.
I don't ever consider you to be a granny.
No, I wouldn't think so.
I'll tell you what, Janette, you always amaze me. I often wonder, I mean, do you actually think to yourself, yeah, I'd like to do that, or do you think, you know, there's an easier way to do it and you go off and try yourself?
It's a
or
variety of
just-
different things. Sometimes I spot things in magazines and I think, that's 300 quid.
Yes.
I only want
Right.
to spend £5. There must be a way of doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And fashion items, jewellery items, hats, things for the house, shoes, decorating shoes, of anything like that. There's always a way of doing it.
Well, all that extravagance has gone, hasn't it? Just buying
think so.
anything, and things are being recycled.
I think,
and,
well, as well as
which is
because
very,
of the
very
recession.
good. Yes,
I think it's as much the recession as environmental issues, but I'm glad.
Anyway, oh yes,
I'm in
so am I.
demand now.
Yeah. But wasn't you could fill that with jam and it'd be a lovely Christmas present.
cute, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And
Homemade
it's
jam or something.
Have a
personalising
go.
these things that I like. It's
Mm,
actually
yeah, of course
making
you can.
them sort of, yeah.
Tell you what, this in here is white spirit.
Herta Frankfurters, because to be perfectly frank, one needs an excellent banger to make the fireworks go with the bang. Herta, the Frankfurter.
Are you letting money slip through your fingers? You know you could be if you're using a cheap dilute liquid on tough grease like this, because one of these can only do this much greasy washing up. But now there's a brand new Fairy to save you money. It's new Fairy XL Plus. And it's so much better at cutting through grease. It goes much further than even 2 of the other bottles. In fact, while you're spending money on a 3rd and even on a 4th, the same bottle of Fairy XL Plus keeps on going to do all this. So the big plus is you save money because you get the power of 4 for the price of 1 bottle of new Fairy.
New Bassett Medley Family Assortment. All your favourite Bassett sweets in one bag. But watch out for the all sorts.
I couldn't believe that Pampers could be beaten for skin dryness until I found a new nappy. And then I found that these Pampers Baby Dry were brilliant, unbelievable. As a nursery deputy and Anna's mum, I feel that skin dryness is very important to me. In the morning, before I use Pampers Baby Dry, she's generally a bit clammy, you know, a bit wet.
Introducing new Pampers Baby Dry. Only Pampers Baby Dry has this unique Baby Dry layer that lets wetness right through and then turns white again, helping to keep baby dry.
Every morning since I've been using Pampers Baby Dry, she has been dry and her skin's been very soft and dry as well. It's so unbelievable, it really is. I think it's the children in my nursery. We're in Pampers Baby Dry nappies. We're talking about dry bottoms all over the place, all day. It'd be wonderful.
New Pampers Baby Dry for the driest, happiest babies.
How loyal are you? 2 weeks ago, we asked a loyal Daz-Automatic user to try a mystery powder instead. Mrs. Biggs doesn't know that she's being filmed by hidden cameras.
And I did notice a difference. The youngest girl, she had a bottle of tea and it all spilt on the shoulder. But it's got it out. With a Daz-Automatic, it just doesn't come out. But I must be honest, this one has. I'm quite pleased with it.
So take a wild guess what this is.
No.
New Daz-Automatic.
Never.
Were you really surprised?
Oh, what, yes. Very surprised. I only saw you on the telly last night.
New Daz-Automatic, even better on whites, but still at the right price.
To celebrate our fantastic new 1-hour in-store processing service, we're offering you 2 amazing deals. For every film you bring in for 1-hour processing, we'll give you a free 10x8 enlargement worth £3.99, an ideal Christmas present. And when you buy 2 Kodak Gold 24 exposure films, we'll give you a 3-hour Kodak VHS videotape absolutely free. So now you can make the unbelievable believable with Kodak Express 1-hour processing at RAP Photographic 24 High Street, Camberley.
For a month with Rog on an expedition. It was it wasn't a holiday. It was an expedition. I found I was climbing Everest. No, I travelled right the way out through the Pacific. But when I was on this particular thing, I met a woman called Rebecca Sanders, and she's a graphologist, and she's now attached to...
That's handwriting, isn't it?
Yeah, handwriting. And she's attached to... She does all the criminology with the Americans, so she's got all her degrees. And she asked me would I join in a little bit of nonsense, which I did. It was absolutely hilarious.
Just for fun, wasn't it?
Just for fun, this was. She did it one evening. It was a crowd, about 27 of us. And it was quite interesting. And she told me more than I ever knew about myself just by writing. What she told me to write was, the stupid cat sat on the mat.
Can we do it?
Yeah, I got some. I thought you might like to.
Has that any particular meaning?
That's cherries.
Has that got any
No. I'll tell you. I'm not going to tell you until you've done it.
What am I going to do?
That's Janette's. Write on there for me, the stupid cat sat on the mat.
And then you don't know, then you shuffle them up and you don't know who's written what.
No, write your name on the top.
Okay. So why don't you, I mean, can't you use...
How do you spell stupid?
Like the fox.
S-T-U-P-I-D.
Is it the quick brown fox or whatever that uses all the alphabet?
No.
Not interested in that?
No, okay. I'm interested in how you write your T's.
I've finished.
T's, that's Janette.
Cat, sat.
You shouldn't have said anything about teas, because these two, I've done mine already, but these two are cheese.
I don't know.
No.
I'm cheating.
That's how I always write.
I should have lent on something there, actually, but still.
Right.
Nice.
Thank you.
Come on, then, still.
Tell us.
Who shall I do first?
Cherries. No, Grace.
No.
I don't care.
Who shall I do first?
But don't
Let me get that out of the way.
Get your own back on me.
I won't get my own back on you just because the skirt was too tight. I won't. We'll do cherry first.
Yeah.
The stupid cat sat on the mat. Now, the first T of cherry, she crosses it on capital. The second T, she doesn't bother to cross at all.
Oh.
The third T she crosses from the front. So she's a very mixed up character.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Afraid so, Cherry. I'm afraid so. The one particular T is veering to the right, speed, initiative and fluency.
Oh, that's all right. I don't mind the
You don't mind that,
things,
do you?
No.
Now, the one you miss out at all,
Yeah.
you're not sure of yourself, you're not sure of what you're doing. So you weren't sure of that.
I couldn't smell cats. All right, so I won't know.
And the other one, which is the front one there,
Yes.
which is the T where you cross it and go through,
Yes.
which they consider is star-shaped.
Oh, I'm a star.
She's a
So
star.
what does that mean?
You are persistent, tenacious, and you have a sense of responsibility.
I think you're brilliant. You're very good.
Thank you.
Well, she hasn't said ours yet.
Is this really this is serious, isn't it?
This is serious.
Well, the woman does
This
the
is
job.
serious.
Yeah, she works for the
She works
criminology
very hard.
department,
She works
doesn't
in the criminology
Yeah, so then it
department.
must have some
And
relevance.
I have a newsletter from her every month. And by the time I've done
really?
10 years of studies, I'll be able to do it.
Oh, great.
It takes a long time.
We'll be awfully
Yeah.
old.
Because
Older.
Anyway,
a little bit older.
I mean, I'll borrow her glasses. Let's do Grace now.
Yeah.
Grace, the stupid cat sat on the mat. Now, Grace was correct because she used a capital on the T and she crossed it right across the top. So she's very outgoing.
Right.
Her next T, she crosses onto the front only. She's a fast thinker, slightly impulsive, impatient, concerned with her future, but kind to others.
Oh, how does that?
That goes with the 3 T's, except on the, she crossed it right through. So she's easygoing and slightly naive, and that was because she wasn't sure what she was writing. She was easygoing, but she was slightly naive about it. She wasn't sure about it.
The thing about impatience, I think, I'm impatient with fools.
Yeah.
So,
oh dear, stand
Oh, well,
back.
never mind. You're
Stand back,
entitled to
everybody.
be that, my love. Now let's get round to Janet. The stupid cat sat on the mat. Now, again, Janet crossed on the top, which means she's very sure of herself, and she starts with a capital, so she's very sure. Stupid, the T, she just crosses just on the front. She's a fast thinker. Again, she's impulsive, she's impatient, and she's concerned with her future. Thinking all the time about her future. That goes on again where she comes up, where she's slightly coming down and then just slightly crosses it, but she's not sure. So she has a fear of following through and the inability to make choices readily. Is that right?
you have lots of ideas.
No,
You
that's
must
right. I make decisions immediately.
Yes,
You do, well, lots of
But
ideas on you.
that thing about following through, that's very true. I
Yeah.
do have this problem about ending.
The leaves that we grow in our tunnels. This is what we do for a living.
Yes?
Yeah. These are the special leaves that we grow for chefs.
I mean, I know one of those, but the rest are totally foreign to me.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to do is I need to make a salad in a way that I learnt actually from one of a chef. We don't actually sell to him, but he's got 3 Michelin stars, so he knows what he's doing. And he always arranges a salad in a ring. I always make a terrible mess when I'm putting salad on a plate.
Yes, me too.
This actually isn't quite big enough, so what I did was I tried paper and also foil, and I thought the foil was, in fact, it seemed to work the best.
Yeah.
And I start with a little bit of iceberg, because these leaves are quite expensive, and if you haven't got many, it's nice to have
So, but you could be one of the sort of
yeah,
more
and you
standard.
can use supermarket leaves. The great thing is to have lots of different kinds of leaves. So, I mean, I've got chicory.
You grow all of these yourself?
We grew all these, yes.
Fantastic. And you can grow those during the winter?
Yes, they're all winter hardy.
Yeah.
That's the whole joy of it.
That's fantastic.
Now, this is chicory. There's 3 kinds of chicory here. There's sugarloaf, robin, and castelfranco. Oh, there's 4 kinds. This is Treviso. I thought it was another castelfranco.
What are the tastes of them?
They all taste quite bitter. Chicory tends to be on the bitter side.
Try.
Yes, try a little bit of. This is. I'm not breaking the salad up very much. This is designed to be eaten with a knife and fork.
Oh right.
This is Claytonia, which is a very mild leaf.
That's beautiful looking.
Try one of those. It's quite. That's not at all bitter.
That's
called Claytonia. It's an American native. We call it Spring Beauty. Then this, I like a bit of colour. This is a red mustard. And I like a bit of change of shape. That's a curly mustard. Those are both American. And I think they're going to be very fashionable, these mustards. I'm sure they're the leaf of the future. And this is cress. This is American land cress. But you could use watercress.
Right.
Which I...
Do they taste the same?
Yes, they do, actually. The cresses are quite hot.
Right. And you can and you can grow those during the winter as well?
Yes, that's one of the hardiest plants there are, as is rocket. People think that because it's Italian, it's only tender, but it's a very good winter leaf.
I always think of salads in the summer, but I'm surprised that you can actually get these in the winter as well.
Well, that's one of the joys of growing different leaves, is you can experiment, and I didn't realise that a lot of these were hardy until I had actually grown them. Now that's frise. You can buy this in supermarkets quite easily.
Yeah.
Frise endive. And finally, a couple of orientals. That's Mizuna, which is a little Japanese cabbage-flavoured thing. So I use just a little bit of it. And this is the garland chrysanthemum. It has a Japanese name or Chinese name, Shungiku. Yeah, that tastes of the smell of chrysanthemum petals.
I've just tried this mustard, and it's so sharp. It's like actually putting hot English mustard on.
Now, on top, to go with all this, I'm doing some sliced mushrooms in lemon juice. And what I've done, you can slice mushrooms, the fresher the better. They slice much better if they're really stiff. You can slice them with a knife, but it takes ages. And in fact, I discovered purely by chance, that you can use your egg slicer if you've got one of those.
Wow, look at that, fantastic.
It's a bit better, isn't it? It saves a lot of time.
Yeah, I spend so much time slicing mushrooms.
Then mushrooms go on top.
I can smell that lemon juice.
And then a little paprika for colour, because otherwise they look a bit pale. And then off comes the ring, and it looks beautifully arranged. And then to finish it off, I like to grate some curls of cheese. Now, grated curls of cheese are terribly fashionable at the moment, and you can do it with double Gloucester.
Look at that.
Which is quite pretty, and with red Leicester, which is even prettier.
But you can do it with any type of cheese.
You can do it with any type of cheese, yes.
And what about, I've got some soya cheese here that I brought in because I knew that you were going to do this recipe because I'm allergic to dairy products. Can we try that?
Yes, we can indeed.
It must be very difficult being away in Australia and trying to keep in touch. You know, if you didn't write to her, there's so many people who never write to friends or even members of their family because the telephone has taken it over.
Yeah, I like letter writing actually. I find that you express yourself in a different way when you write to someone than you do on the telephone.
Well, I suppose it depends really. I somehow or other I've just been left a whole pile of letters that I've written over 29 years, so I know you express yourself. But no, I think the important thing is whatever happens. So many people say they're lonely. They don't attempt to keep in touch. They say they've never seen their family. They don't invite them over. I mean, thinking of our son then.
Ooh, I'm a great letter writer actually, and as you say, you can put more in a letter. You can. I mean, it's a bit daft when you say, "I love the way you did so and so" to a girlfriend. When you know, if you're saying it on the telephone,
it sounds silly, doesn't it? Yeah. And also things like describing things. I think if you go on for too long on the telephone about describing an event or something that you've seen or a piece of artwork, I feel really soppy and silly, whereas if I'm writing it in a letter, you can be quite creative with the way you're using the language.
More poetic.
Also, you know, it can be reread too. The great thing about, I mean, a letter gives pleasure as long as you don't throw it straight away. I mean, they can reread it.
But I think postcards too are wonderful because there's a sense of when
it doesn't keep you in touch. I mean, it does in a certain way. It doesn't keep you in touch in quite the same. I'm thinking of my grandsons who lived in Italy and now live in England. They would send me cards, you know, obviously. But now, every Sunday, Sarah and I slave away.
Oh, sorry.
I thought there was no water. It's my fault. We slave away to feed them. We have everybody on Sunday to come to lunch. My ex-husband.
Really?
My ex-husband and his 7-year-old son. He's got a 7-year-old son and he's got a 47-year-old son by me. So we have them. And Sarah's ex-husband comes and her half-sister.
Talk about an extended family.
And we have the and the point is that we all feel it is very, very important and valuable to us. The whole family.
I think it gives people a sense of identity, actually.
Yes,
you can
it
keep
does.
in contact. I mean, my family are 12,000 miles away.
Yes,
but
I was thinking
I mean, I make a point of if I can, every week ringing either my father or my mother or my sister, just to have a short conversation, just to sort of say hi, I'm around, and thinking of them.
When you telephone, you can sort of see them in your head, can't you?
Yes.
Which I suppose that's...
It's instant, isn't it? That's what it is, where you send a letter, you don't know when they're going to get it. But sometimes, I mean, I still send postcards even if I don't go away. You know, just to say hi, you know, I haven't forgotten you, you know, I'm still living.
I think one has to keep remembering how it feels to get one of these postcards and one of these letters. And I love getting letters and sort of go through the mail and see all my personal mail.
I was looking at old photographs the other day, I got a great big box of stuff, and when I finished with the modelling agency, I really got stuff like this, and albums of me when I was in my prime. And I found a letter from my brother just after the last war. I met Roger after the last war because I'd already lost somebody in the war. I wasn't going to get married, not again, I wasn't going through the hurt. And I found this letter from my brother, and he was in South Africa as a pilot, and I couldn't believe it. I was just reading it, and it said, "Gather ye rosebuds while ye may, old time it is of flying." But I'd written to him and said, "Look, this guy wants me to marry him. I've been keeping him on for 3 years now, should I?" And my brother just said, "Gather ye rosebuds," and I read it.
Brilliant.
And you know, I sat on the bed.
If you'd like a free copy of the fact sheet that accompanies this programme, call this number now, 0891 777 333. Will Marge confess? If so, is she doing the right thing? Drama next in Shortland Street.
Oat bran.
Oat bran.
may help reduce cholesterol.
May help reduce cholesterol.
As part of a low-fat diet.
Medical experts suggest 2 out of 3 people would be wise to consider reducing their cholesterol. So it's common sense to care about what you eat. Couldn't someone in your life use a little common sense?
It was a real challenge. Develop a new towel for Kotex that fits better. After all, the better it fits, the better it protects. But how? The answer was staring me in the face. Make it curved. Women are. It's the first towel to be soft and gently gathered, designed to fit the body for real protection. The new Simplicity Curved Towel from Kotex.
Let me show you my way to care for fine china. As you can see, unlike conventional powders, you can trust Fairy not to fade your dishes.
The national, international and regional news can be seen at 3:20, and that's after Shortland Street.
Hey, did you check out the weather report? No. It's going to be a cracker of a weekend.